Greetings, salutations, hello. Welcome to another episode of 7 Days to Die. I'm Silverblade Dagger, and this is episode 4. Now, technically, this would be episode 3, but I had promised in episode 2, if you can remember that far back, that the next episode would be about kill, maim, destroy. And to do that, I would need a horde to fulfill that promise. Well, didn't look like any hordes were going to show up. And looking at the time in the day, it was towards evening, and I thought, well, I'll play it through and see if anything shows up. Nothing showed up. So I would have been forced to break my promise because of the game not cooperating. So I figured, well, it's day 21, and every 3 days, the loot crates in the various stores respawn the goods. And I figured, well, instead of doing a just kill 'em all type of episode, which I will actually be doing in a little while, and making that episode 3, this episode I'm going to basically go through and kind of do a circuit of looting the hardware store and the gun supply store and see what we can dig up. So far, most of my tools are flawless. I think my shovel is the only one that isn't. And you never know, you can probably even improve upon the flawless weapons by finding higher quality ones. For instance, my fire axe, the quality is $5.99, and I think 600 is pretty much the top. I think you could possibly go 650 if you craft it, and I'm not at a level yet where I can craft it that high. So $5.99 is pretty much top of the mark for just finding a flawless item. My other items, obviously, I don't think they're going to be that good, but we can find some that are possibly better. As for weapons, my pistol quality 570. If we look at the parts inside it, all of them are flawless. We got, let's see, pistol parts 588, pistol barrel 598, pistol grip 565. I think that one might be one we can improve on. Pistol receiver is 531, and I'm fairly confident we can improve on this. So, and another thing to note is if you put it up your weapons up here in the craft box, you can take out parts, throw in another one, but make sure that if you're going to craft the gun to keep, you have the picture of the weapon here before you hit craft, because one of my little habits is putting it in the wrong box or having not all the parts up there, and you go to hit craft and oops, that perfectly wonderful pistol becomes nothing but scrap iron, and that absolutely sucks. That would absolutely suck if I did that to this $5.99 flawless fire axe. Also, when you put a weapon up here in this craft window, any ammunition that currently is in the magazine will be put in your inventory. This way, if you do scrap the weapon, you're not scrapping the ammo with it. So, when you craft it and you put it back in your hotbar, and we'll switch to pistol. As you can see, down here, it's not even loaded. So if you do retrofit or recraft a weapon, reloading is highly advisable. Otherwise, you'll just hear a click, 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 and it's not really all that great if you're in the middle of a horde or in fantastic combat. Now, as you can see here in the sniper rifle, sniper barrel needs some improvement. The receiver can use improvement. The parts could use improvement, and the stock can use some improvement there. Ideally, I think that they're pretty much topped out when they're like over 580. You can find better, but it gets rarer and rarer to find. So anyways, that's what you see for the weapons. We're trying to look for better parts for this. If it'll... oh, what's going on here? There we go. Thought it would drop it back in here, but I guess it's not. And of course, this is what it sounds like with an unloaded weapon. And dry firing a gun like that in real life isn't all too great for them. Luckily, this is a game gun, and it ain't really going to cause any harm. So, first off, I have it, like I said, I have it set so every 3 days it'll respawn loot at the various stores, as well as, you know, trash, all that. Now, on the 3rd day, every 3rd day, after 8 o'clock is when I've made it to the first chain of stores, and sometimes if I get too early, there's nothing spawned there. So I'll go to the next store, and by the time I get there, new stuff is spawned, and I hit the place that didn't have any new spawn stuff on the way back, and usually in about that time, you know, all the stuff is there. I can raid it, and happy times are had by all. So it's 8:27 on a 3rd-esque day. It's the 21st, which is, you know, 3 times 7. Derp. I'm not exactly the best at math, but even I know that it's a number divisible by 3. So the first place we're going to go, I'll warn you guys right now. If you have not explored your map and you're a complete newbie to the game, and you want to discover places on your own without any prompting, any maps, look away now, stick your fingers in your ears, and go blah, 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 because I'm going to show you where the stores are that I go to on this particular loot run. Ready? Okay, close your eyes and look away. The hardware store, in relation to the center of the map, which technically is about in here, you got the church, you got the lake, hardware store. That's our first location to go to. Now, if there's nothing here, and I have to go back to it later, we'll just make a beeline all the way up here to the gun store, which is up here in the winter biome. And usually by the time I get here, it's loaded up. And at least it was the last time that I went and raided through here. And if that all works to plan, we'll come back here, make sure we get everything here, unload our goods, and we'll come all the way down here to the wasteland, to the second gun store. Now, in this place here, chances are pretty good we are going to engage in combat with the undead. So, we'll see how that turns out. Fingers crossed, right? So, when I go and do a loot run, I always try to make sure that I have at least 2 weapons, long range and sidearm for if they get up close and you have to really lay out the lead. You have to have a fire axe minimum, because you'll have to chop. Sometimes you'll have to chop through walls or whatnot to be able to get inside. Sometimes you can even just let the zombies do it for you, but it's quicker this way. If you get hit and infected, it's nice to have some antibiotics on you. First aid kit when you're ever going out venturing, it's a must-have. You know, on these raids, you don't necessarily have to have food or water with you. You're bound to pick up something along the way, but with eggs, hard-boiled eggs, they don't make any smell. which can draw attention to you, and they give you a quick boost of fullness, which is 8 fullness and 0.32 wellness, so it'll help you out a little bit. I try to keep the inventory completely clean, except, of course, for the ammo. Don't leave home without it, right? So, yeah, and maybe I might change it up and put metal strips in here, especially if you're just discovering a new place and you want to chop up some walls to get through stuff and it dulls your weapon. You definitely want something to patch it up. So, yeah, and you need metal strips for the flawless axe, and for like the stone axe or the stone shovel, you need small stones to re-up that. So that should cover the pre-raid goodies setup. Let's put down a waypoint. So I'll right-click on the map on the building, and a little red flag down in the compass should lead the way. Now this part here should be a short trip, considering it's pretty close to my base. And as you can see, I've chopped all the trees down up to these roads, and everything else is pretty much wild. Now, because I've ventured here before, and I usually raid all the trash out front, I use this not only to get the goodies, but also to let me know if the stuff inside has respawned. And because the shopping cart is empty, that tells me, nope, I'm going to have to go to the next spot. But since there's no zombies are here, this is the hardware store, also known as Working Stiff Tools. These crates, there's one there, one down this aisle here. I believe there's one up on the wall over there, and there's a room back there. If you're visiting this place for the first time, you have to chop the crate up once at least to make it look like that. Once you do that, they stay where you can just automatically run up to them, click E to search them, and get the loot inside. Now, one thing I've seen, I believe it was Midnight Designer did this. If it wasn't him, it might have been Rongo the Bold. He puts a secure storage chest up here in the front. And this is a great idea, because if you're on a run and you just want to get everything in a building and your inventory fills up, go here and you see I've already been here before. There's stuff I should have cleaned out and hauled to the base, but yeah, I was negligent in my duty to do that. But you know, you raid the building, inventory gets full, put the excess in here. Any goodies you really want to keep, put back in your inventory, haul it to base, sort out wherever however you like. You can come back here later and retrieve the rest, or not. It's completely up to you. But this way, you can dump everything in here, go on to the next place, especially if it's a long distance away. And yeah, it's quite a good idea. So there you go. Since the shopping cart up front basically tells us I've already been here and nothing's respawned yet, we're going to head up to our next waypoint, which is the gun shop. Now, the last time I came through here, I think it was about the same time, and by the time we get up there, should be good to go on getting weapon parts and the other goodies. Excuse me. So we will head about on our way. Now this is going to be a little bit of a jaunt here. And on these long, kind of straight runs to places, I'm looking for zombies, you know, just fast food experience, I guess you can say. But when there's nothing around and you're just running and running, I tend to think about things like life, the universe, everything. And 42 seconds, which oftentimes seems like 42 minutes, I might reach an epiphany or not. Otherwise, I'm just thinking, I can't wait for the scooter to come up in Alpha 12. And since I'm in such a contemplative mood, I saw something on 7 Days to Die's Facebook feed today, or rather yesterday as is, from MadMole, the maestro of the Fun Pimps developers, I guess, or forum moderator. He put up a sneak peek video of things to come in Alpha 12. And needless to say, I'm quite encouraged by it because, lo and behold, he showed the scooter. You know, the mini bike that you can fashion together. And yeah, I'm ignoring the zombies for the most part on this run. But anyway, you can put together the scooter, much like you can put together a weapon. Each part has different degrees of quality, like a gun. And it looks pretty cool. It reminds me of a scooter my neighbors used to have back when I was a kid in the 80s. So it was kind of like an old school flashback for me. But I don't remember my neighbor's moped having a shopping basket on the back. But anyways, he showed how to put it together. It looked pretty cool. Another thing that they showed in the video was a new form of very pissed off wildlife in the form of a very big, very angry looking bear. And it'd be kind of nice to have some wildlife that fights back. Rongo the Bold and Midnight Designer on their Hack to Hell server played with a particularly playful pig that was persistent and not liking to die, and it ended up, I believe, killing both of them. So this grizzly bear, it is able to die. You are able to kill it, but it is also capable of killing you. So it's interesting. It's a nice little add-on to the game to make the wildlife bite back, so to speak. Another thing I saw in the video, and you can look it up on YouTube. I think I'll even post up a link to it in the description for this video below. But thing that they showed in the video is that you can craft from like a sub-menu that branches off from items in your inventory. So if you have, say, wood, you click on it in your inventory and it'll show everything that you are capable of building considering all the supplies that you presently have. So usually, like, you'll see these green things here, which are things you've already built, and they'll turn a lighter shade of green if you have all the necessary ingredients. Well, in this case, you'd be able to like right click on the bullet or left click, I can't remember exactly which, and it will branch out a submenu off to the side. So you can, like, okay, I got this much wood, you know, this much this and that, and it'll automatically let you do it. And you can even do quantities within that submenu. So it'll make it a lot easier than hunting it down through here and all that. Now you can still lay things out on the map, and if you haven't made anything before, say like in this case cloth leg armor, you still have to lay it out on the pattern to get that first build out. But after that, you know, it's all through the submenu. Something to contemplate while we made this long journey, and now that we're here, let's get straight to business, Okay, so this trash can, search trash can untouched. This means that everything is respawned here. And It's a feather. I don't really need feathers at this point, but I'll take it. And file trash. Got that. Now let's really check these crates. Aha! Shotgun Messiah crate untouched. And some really piss poor pistol receivers. And iron desk. Woohoo! Ammo. And a splint. Which really I probably should have put a splint in my inventory, but I don't break my legs that often on these trips. And a little bit better of a receiver. We'll take it. File cabinet. And it's paper. We'll take it. We can convert it to a book if need be. Nothing. Another swing and a miss. And a hunting rifle barrel, which I think I got a better one already. And shotgun handle, short handle. Oil's good. Now you can kind of go on a circuit through here. And don't forget the crate up here. Ooh, a full sniper rifle. Don't see those that often. Usually I have to build them. And we'll get the trash. Hop the counter. And nothing. And a little basket. And nothing. Oh, got it in. Yeah. Got some brass in there. And there's nothing in that. I can't search it anyway. This is the shopping cart. Okay. Aisle 2, feminine hygiene products, and a stomach pump kit. Oh, that's got nothing. Sniper receiver. I believe my gun's got a better one already. Check the bathroom last. And SMG receiver, which isn't really too significant. There we go. Paper. Sometimes my computer just doesn't find the hitbox to search for that so easily. And jump the counter. With these cash registers, if the drawer is in, you can search it. If the drawer is sticking out, you can't search it. So, little quick tip for that. It's not like there's anything super significant in there. Usually it's either paper or a casino chip, which really, if you're needing that stuff, I mean, the casino chip you can scrap into scrap iron, but anyway. Nothing in the cooler. Nothing in the other cooler. Sniper rifle receiver. And okay, need to make room. Now, at this point, because my inventory is full, I can either just chuck it all into the crate, which is completely empty, or as I tend to do is kind of like on-the-fly inventory management. Now, I got most of this stuff either in better quality for the parts, or I got an overabundance of paper or books or this, that. I tend to just break them down on the fly. So these two make lead, tin can, casino chip. As I said, I got better receivers than these, because all these are going to make scrap iron. I got a better receiver than this. I got a better stock of that SMG than this. I really don't keep the nails. If I want to, I can forge them. But I don't really use the nail gun for anything significant, so we'll just nix that. I think I will keep this receiver and scrap this, because I don't exactly remember if I have a flawless receiver back at base. The main reason why I want to keep that is, like I've mentioned before, I have the uncanny habit of scrapping perfectly good weapons, and I don't recall having an extra sniper rifle on hand, and I can use these parts to improve these parts. So we'll just keep a handle on that. These I can't scrap into scrap iron. Can't do it with the wooden stock of the shotgun. Not too worried about the SMG. And I'm not too worried about the hunting rifle, because I'm pretty certain I have a flawless one of those, and I don't use the hunting rifle that much anyway. Quick scan through. I don't see anything else that can be reduced down, so we'll scrap that. Now what I often do is I'll put the scrap items kind of together, and kind of in the same pattern as I have for my forges. So it's scrap iron, brass, lead. So I have some brass here. Quick look, nothing else brass. Goes there. I'm going to scrap the books for paper, because they do have a bit more of a stack amount for that. So we'll move these up just to open up space, and the main reason why I try to keep these in order like this is it makes it just easier when you're hit E to search and then R to take take all, to be able to see if you're filling up your inventory, rather than having random little open spots. Part of my OCD, deal with it. So we'll snag the book out of here, and it goes in the inventory. So at this point, everything in the main store and the back room has been looted, and I usually save the bathroom for last, because when you're going to go on a long trip, it's best to go to the bathroom before you go. So get the trash, sink, cabinet. There's no trash can in there. There's a trash can there. No. Nothing. Nothing there. Some lead there. Nothing there. And on occasion there's some medicine here. Vitamins, I can always use that. Just glad there wasn't any of the stuff that I have an extreme excess of. And by the way, when you do enter one of these buildings for the first time, after chopping a hole in the wall, or sometimes I even go through the ceiling, and I think in another video I'll show how I'll make a roof entrance. There is a crawl space between here and the actual floor space on the roof. You can actually you can only crouch in it, but if you're surrounded, that's actually a nice little cubby hole to sneak into. But when you're breaching a building for the first time, I usually enter in from the back, because you always end up with zombies up in the front. All you really have to do is chop one block up at this level all the way through. You don't have to go through the doors. There might be some buildings that have stronger walls and doors, in which case go through the doors. But usually you can go through the walls and you make a one block section. It keeps the zombies from being able to make it through, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think it might even block dogs. If you dig it down here at ground level, the dogs can go right through it. I know that dogs can go through one block holes, so I'm not 100%. And if you're carrying wood frames with you, you could just put a wood frame in behind you to cork it, to keep the dogs from coming through. And you do that, and then to get through, you just crouch and jump. Usually you can shimmy right on through there, and you're good to go. So we've looted everything from this building. There's nothing in there. So we will come out here. If I can actually get through the door. And we'll loot that. I always go for these shopping carts. Usually there isn't anything too significant in there, but you never know. You might get surprised. There is that. There we go. And there we go. Now, I am going to break down everything that I can here, so we'll turn that into paper. And got a little excess. So I just convert it into books. Didn't make a whole lot of room, but there's always paper everywhere. I already got cooking pots. Got that. Convert these to brass, which looting is the only way you can get brass in this game. I'll hang on to these. Could convert them into scrap. So that's all the room we have for here. Come on. Where is ya? I always seem to pick up these just because eventually I am going to want to mess around with landmines because, well, they're just fun. Yeah, I'll take the wood. I've already searched the cars. Now, cars, loot doesn't respawn in cars. Just garbage piles, trash cans, crates. So once you've searched them, you really don't need to search them again. You can store stuff in them, which is nice because some places will actually have a bunch of cars out front, and if you haven't built any secure chests to put your excess in, cars will make a passable temporary storage so you can always come back. I apologize for cutting this short, but splitting this video in two. This will be part A, and coming up will be part B. If you like this video, you know what to do. Click like, comment, leave a dislike, what have you. See you on the other side.